is, yeah, he is a BJP man. Is it a sin to be a BJP man? It is not a sin to be a TMC man or a BJP man. Anybody who is troubled in a certain state and has to run away. Okay, so you're saying that all this is politics. People who are dying are actually dying out of politics, not out of a breakdown in law and order. Is that what you're saying?
No, he's saying that that's how
he's saying that
there's no death at all. He's saying this is all melodrama. There was no Abhijit Sarkar.
Dr. Anand Ranganathan, are these people who are dying, is Jiten Prasad complaining about attacks on Congress people because he's doing politics? They've got 0 seats. I mean, whether he does politics or he doesn't do politics, it doesn't matter. CPI-ML, CPIM, both have put out their statements, and both have got 0 seats in West Bengal. Are they also doing? No. Where is the liberal? You know, if this had happened in Assam, God forbid, which is the neighboring state right there, won elections, if the BJP had done it, would everybody have been silent, Dr. Anand Ranganathan?
No, absolutely, Navika, and let me tell you, this violence is unprecedented and totally unacceptable. And it could not have possibly happened without a sanction or in the least the leadership turning the other way. Hundreds of videos and photographs and eyewitness accounts gathered by the victims as well as the media of large-scale looting, arson, murder, rape, stone pelting cannot be ignored, even though some are predictably trying to dismiss all of them because of spiking with 1 or 2 older or unrelated clips. This is not the dance of democracy, but rather the one-legged dance of dictatorship. These are the very same people who complain of Godi media all the time. But have a look at what DD media is doing. No outrage, near complete silence. Is this what they call speak truth to power? These are cowards because even though they know who the power is, they speak truth only to Modi, never to Didi. I ask you, TMC and its Albert Spears can dismiss the violence as orchestrated by the fascist BJP. But multiple instances of violent attacks and murder are also being reported by the Congress and the CPIM. So the BJP is colluding with the Congress and the communists now. Sitaram Yechuri is a Sanghi. Remember, it was Didi who outraged on the JNU violence a year or so ago and sent a fact-finding team to investigate it based on what a CPIM leader tweeted on the violence. Now the same CPIM leader is tweeting on the TMC perpetrating murder and violence on CPIM in Bengal. So is it fake? Navika, the signs were always there, and they go as far back as 2018 during the Bengal Panchayat elections when 20,076 seats in the Panchayat polls went uncontested. That's 34% of the total seats. Allegations of brutal violence, torture, bomb taxis, arson, rape.
I want to leave viewers with just one question. And Riju Datta, one point. Riju Datta, just one point. You know, Mr. Derek O'Brien has even tweeted and said that he's calling out people who are discussing Bengal violence as people who are not worried about COVID. And he's called out Times Now because on Sunday, counting day, when we did not know who was winning or who was losing the Battle of Bengal, we had decided on Saturday and announced that we will do COVID coverage. We will, of course, give updates on the elections. He's now called us out. I'm just saying, Riju Datta.
Yes.
Rahul, very quickly, 2 points. I think it's been a wonderful debate. Every speaker has put forth his points, and to be honest, I think the points that have been elaborated by Rajiv as well as Sanjay do have some merit. But I'm afraid we've gone tangential because let me explain this very quickly. Point number 1. Is it anyone's grouse that the foreign media is biased when it comes towards India and Modi? Absolutely not. As I said, for the last 7 years, starting from the fake church attack, these guys have been targeting Modi and BJP like nobody's business. And Rahul, one of the clips you are showing that a cartoon in one of the Australian newspapers where Modi is sitting atop a collapsed elephant. By that foolish cartoonist's own admission, the template, he said, was of Modi on an elephant. But if you look closely to that photograph, it is an imposter of Modi during an election rally. So they are, the people who are non-Indians who write for these publications are wholly ignorant. And the Indians who write for them are wholly biased. They want to run an agenda. Let me give you one small example. In the wake of Mr. Bukhari's assassination, one Indian writing for Washington Post insinuated that I was responsible. So So these things are going to happen. I mean, you can't stop it. The point is, are you prepared to enter this coal mine and eke out a diamond from there? I am, because I look inwards. And as far as the second point is concerned, Rahul, we have fluffed up. There is absolutely no discussion about it. So there is an element of truth in this. And very finally, this last point, many people have been perhaps rightfully aggrieved by these visuals of the burning fires. Now, I'll be honest, when Italy was facing its worst, when Mexico was facing its worst COVID, there were photographs of funerals, there were photographs of coffins, lining up in front of churches. So the point is, it is macabre to me. But it is also a fact that those, some people get some satisfaction out of it, and they highlighted that in India, and they highlighted, that in Mexico and Italy as well. So as far as I'm concerned, the vultures are always circling. But this time we allowed them to land.
Rahul, one point.
That's the problem, viewers. We allowed them to land and they are having a feast. They are having 1 second, I'm wrapping up, I've run out of time. We allowed them to land and they're having a feast on the carrion of a decayed health system. Now, viewers, we have a priority. We can rebuild this health system by inviting suggestions and ensuring that we take those suggestions and we move forward. Or we leave it at this and we chafe and we rant and we counter rant, etc., and we get lost in the noise. That's the choice, viewers. I leave it at this.
Ghanshyam Tiwari is a great administrator. Shouldn't he be helping the government in following the SOPs which he's relating on television? I'm sure constructive suggestions are welcome.
My question, if I may please direct it to the COVID warriors, Dr. Patra and Dr. Sumant Raman, because they are both medical doctors. And believe me, my first question is to Dr. Sumant Raman. And I trust his judgment. I really do. He's working for India. He's a doctor. So whatever answer he gives to my question, I'm going to accept it. So here is the question, Dr. Raman. You know that the international aid has arrived through many routes, through air, through ship, maybe by road or by train, I don't know, neighboring countries. Okay, it has to be taken to a single center. It has to be distributed amongst 100-odd institutions concerning about their needs. So I ask you this straight up. According to you, not according to the government or Dr. Patra, according to you, how many days should that process take? That's a simple question.
Okay. Let me explain it very simply. Today, an aircraft is coming in carrying a particular cargo. We know what is in it because we have been informed in advance that 100 oxygen concentrators are coming, 300 oxygen cylinders are coming, or whatever. Now we know this in advance. So the team prepares in advance, gets inputs from the local state government where the crisis is existing. The moment the aircraft lands, this material is unloaded. It should reach, an oxygen concentrator can potentially reach a patient in 8 hours after the aircraft lands. And that is how it has to be
Dr.
done.
Patra, Dr. Patra, Dr.